Okay, let me introduce everybody to a guest that's walked into our studio, and I promise you, I have so much I wanted to get to today, including, by the way, I also wanted to give everybody the phone number, because now that the phones work, I actually really wanted to test the phones. But coming into the studio right now is a longtime great friend. Marcus, feel free to use those headphones if you like. This guy's a longtime great friend. I played it for you at the beginning of today's broadcast. Emwell, can you please play for everybody the brilliant song that was written by Marcus Preciado? I don't even know what year this is, 2005, 6, something like that. Go ahead and play it. Yeah, still makes my head bump. You know about that, John Browner? Marcus knows.
What he made it.
I know he knows. That's right, he wrote this shit.
Alright, stop what you're doing and listen to the show. It's double X to 90, better act like you know. You're amongst great friends, so no need to fear.
Watch this. Now I'm using the knobs.
Give us for all when something good goes in your ear.
Yeah, right.
It's double X to 90's gotta be
Old school.
all.
Double
Whether
X to
you're at
90.
work or just driving.
All right, Marcus Preciado. It was one of my fave songs of all time. And now Marcus Preciado, longtime great friend, comes into our studio for the first time, comes into the Scott and BR podcast den. Good to see you, man.
Likewise, man. Thanks for having me,
Yeah.
fellas.
And jump right into that mic, dog. We want you to sound really, really good.
Cool.
You can grab it if you want. Let's stand. Whatever you want to do.
That's what Alex said. Let me ask you a question. When you wrote that song, what year do you suppose that was?
That was the year after the Chargers made that big run and beat Indianapolis at the RCA Dome. So whatever year that was, the last game at the RCA Dome when the Chargers beat the Colts.
Was that Billy Volek in for
Yes.
Phillip Rivers?
Yes.
Wow.
And Sproles.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sproles against the Colts, man.
Yeah, so it was because I won the Bolt Idol competition, if you remember. That's how we met.
Yeah, so what happened was, this was, again, probably 2005 or 6. We had this contest for people to write songs because the Chargers were going crazy in town. I mean, it was like a really exciting time. And we said, well, write some songs. And Marcus comes in studio one morning, and I'm trying to remember if your son was with you.
Yeah, he came with me when you guys picked the top 10 guys. Mm-hmm. So I woke my son Diego up, said, hey, come to the studio with me. That's the benefit of homeschooling your kids. You can take them to songwriting competitions.
Yeah, dude, his son, Diego, back then was this little kid, Now he's a football player at Stanford. This guy's, had this great high school career, and now he's a football player at Stanford. By the way, one thing I don't love, and I don't mind telling everybody in the show, I don't love the lighting today. You feel what I'm saying? Like the lighting switches when you switch cameras. So when you're in the full shot, Emwell, the lighting looks better than when we're in the smaller shot. Okay.
Director Kaplan.
That's right. Well, I have to teach Browner.
Do you want to go there again?
After his Spike Lee joint yesterday.
There you go.
Yeah.
Visionary.
Yeah.
Okay. Visionary.
So Marcus comes in studio one morning, and he has the song that you just heard, and it blew us all away. And you won that contest, and you flew to Indianapolis to go be with the Chargers and see them win that game.
I did. It was awesome. It was one of the coolest events for my son and I. We flew in a limousine. We stayed at the hotel with the Chargers. Of course, it was a great, great game. And then remember, we had the House of Blues after that with the Chicken, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and all that good stuff. So that was a fun ride. But that's how we got introduced. And then I wrote you guys the Scott and BR anthem. And then we've been great friends ever since.
That's right. And Marcus here, you said you guys knew each other in high school. Are you being serious?
No, I've known. He's known me since I was in high school. His sister was my high school teacher.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Did you know this?
Come on. Of course. I know this cat right here.
I know, but this is something I'd never heard. So
Yeah.
Marcus had played college football at San Diego State, played during the Marshall Faulk era.
Yes.
And again, like you said, we've been great friends ever since. And now, all these years later, Marcus has his own podcast now.
Nice.
He's got his own podcast. He's doing his own thing. And what I really like about his podcast, and we have a little bit of a thing going here about his podcast. I love that he's got all these athletes that are very religiously based. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not Christian, so I don't, the message is not necessarily, I think anybody can learn from other people's philosophies and religions and stuff. So it's not like it's a problem for me, but it's a lot of athletes, a lot of guys who, you learn more about them. It's good stuff, man.
For example, today we had your good friend James Lofton on, the venerable Mr. James Lofton.
Yep.
Heath Bell, what's up, man?
Heath Bell's walking into the studio
we
right
just hung
now.
out yesterday.
Heath Bell's the man.
And so when it came for him to talk about that part, Scott, we talk about his career, all kinds of great things. I mean, who doesn't want to talk and hear from James Lofton? Regardless of what you believe, anybody can learn from that brother right there. So when it came to talking about his faith, he just talked about, how it's helped him be a better husband, a better player, a better grandfather. And it's just about, what are those guys going through and how does this faith help them love others?
I would say to you, please tell everybody, feel free, promote your podcast. Because, dude, I'll tell you right now, Marcus flattered us and said, hey, you guys, it's an inspiration. You guys are part of the inspiration for what he does. And so, dude, promote away, dude.
Yeah, really. This show is a huge inspiration. I've been here since the VMW days, right? But you guys, you don't know about no VMW.
I don't know nothing about that.
Right? You know nothing about that.
You know what's funny you say that?
Zero.
Before the show today, I was telling these guys, I said, we have so much content on YouTube that never gets tapped into. And John was cutting a video of Billy Ray at batting practice in probably 2005, 6, 7 down at Petco Park. And I mean, Billy Ray is just in the prime of his Billy Ray days, And so
Still look like a middle linebacker.
yeah, you say you don't even know about this. I'm teaching these guys right now, dude, what 20 years of content is, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So I listened back then, and I just loved the show. Probably heard it, at least a bit of it every single day. So, as it would happen now, I have a podcast, and it's called The Yard with Marcus Preciado, and it's where faith and sports collide. And every week it comes out, and first we highlight basically the week that was, kind of in a fun, not an in-depth analysis sort of way, just cover some high-level topics, have some fun with it. As you know, I'm pretty silly. Gives a chance to crack some jokes, write some songs.
I mean, the last song I heard was just, it was just brutal. I mean, it was
quiet,
It was
dude.
no,
Be quiet.
seriously, it was
Let me hear
hard.
you do it.
It was
Let me hear you
no,
do it.
it was like
What
he's
you
got
got?
it. What was the song? What was the song?
It was Mustache Love from
Oh,
America's a Muskrat Love. Mustard Minshew, mustache man.
I mean,
grooms his little mustache as best as he can.
I was like,
Gardner Minshew love.
yeah. I was like, dude, like I love some of your songs.
Listen,
This one I don't
can't
love.
go West Coast gangster every time, man. I got some old white folks that listen to the show. Got to break out some America.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
And so it's where faith and sports collide. And the best part, guys, is at the end of every show, we bring in one of my friends that we talk about faith and we talk about sports. It's great.